Modern Warfare 4 is doomed, and not the good kind of doom game. I'm talking about that pre-order regret kind of doom. The crazy part about all of this is that this game is supposed to compete with GTA 6. That is literally like bringing a Nerf gun to an all-out tank fight, dude. I've talked about Modern Warfare 4 a lot on this channel since it's been revealed and all the information that's come out about the story, DMZ, and multiplayer. I've brought up how Infinity Ward is going all out this year in order to be the quote-unquote best game in the industry with MW4 against GTA 6 and Rockstar Games. We've even spoken about the fact that the devs themselves are aiming to bring back old Call of Duty players with this year's title. But let's be real here. Going all out, or quote-unquote going all out, in 2026 for Call of Duty basically means 30 new skins, 30 new recycled maps, and a $30 bundle that has the stupidest things that you could possibly imagine. From rabbits and furries to celebrities like Nicki Minaj showing ass out of the cheeks, literally anything. And I believe, as of right now, despite everything said and done by me, other content creators, by you guys, the one huge discussion that we haven't had yet on this channel is if Modern Warfare 4 can save the franchise and bring back a majority of the player base to COD. I believe that this is the biggest goal for the devs themselves at Infinity Ward, outside of the motivation and goals of the egotistical, smooth-brained, sloth-looking dumpster fucks that are the Activision suits. But before I give you guys my opinion on that and basically my answer to that question, let me give you guys very important context so that you will understand the situation the devs are in. Because not only are they putting their jobs on the line with this game and having the statements like bringing back old Call of Duty players back home and having the best game in the industry, but for the Infinity Ward devs working on MW4, their biggest goal within the studio is to essentially pull off another franchise-saving game like they did with MW 2019 and Warzone 1. Because more than anything right now, COD does not need a new game. It genuinely needs therapy. I'm not even joking. Somebody needs to put it in some sort of mental health asylum because it's so bad right now. But I think this time around, the circumstances and situations are entirely flipped badly for them. There's no random Asian guy eating a bat and causing a whole world shutdown from a virus. There's big competition this time that is literally shaping and changing the entire gaming industry with GTA 6 by Rockstar Games and Take-Two. And lastly, even though there's a lot more differences compared to now and back then, the Call of Duty community is tired, okay? We are exhausted, we are fatigued. And all you can really say to Call of Duty and the devs at Infinity Ward is good luck with that. Good luck making another franchise-saving game like MW 2019 and Warzone 1. That was literally lightning caught in a bottle and only gonna happen once. When MW 2019 came out, many Call of Duty players that played the game, pre-ordered it, and bought it were still original loyal fans that just wanted a classic feeling Call of Duty game. And they got that with MW 2019, of course, without Warzone 1 and Movement being discovered, and it ruined the game. But now with everything that's happened with the constant lying, the bullshit being thrown at us every single year, and the manipulation, everyone is tired of COD's treatment towards its player base, and that has been seen in affecting new players who just came into the franchise 5 years ago, 6 years ago with Warzone 1 and Modern Warfare 2019. And now with all of that happening, not only is Call of Duty trying to compete against GTA 6 and trying to bring back players to the franchise, but these players also have real life now. You know, people got mortgages to pay, they're starting families, they got other shit to worry about rather than Call of Duty and getting on the game and grinding that out. I think a great point someone had in my stream the other day was that playing Call of Duty and being in the Call of Duty cycle feels like being in a toxic relationship. You load up the game, basically telling yourself maybe it'll be different this time, and it never is. You're just gonna be resentful, hateful, and arguing with the game, and the game doesn't even talk back to you. That's the worst part. And I simply just don't understand how new players are already burnt out. And I feel like it's not on them, but it's more on these developers, these studios, the publisher, and Activision making people burnt out already. And that's just so sad to see. But now with this context and information, let's start off this conversation. Can MW4 save the Call of Duty franchise and bring back a majority of the player base like they said they want to and will do with the game? I think the best thing to mention is that any COD over the last 2 to 3 years, that be it with Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, and Black Ops 7 that has been released, the devs for those games could have saved the franchise and have COD bring back its player base for longer and made them happier. But they simply didn't do that. And for what reason, you might ask? The Activision suits who don't know any better, man. These Activision suits, instead of letting the developers cook up with their games and have full control, they literally ordered them around and said, don't do this, sell bundles and collabs instead. We've seen it all in Black Ops 6 and now Black Ops 7 with the Nick Cage bundle, and we saw a lot of it as well with Modern Warfare 3 2023. And I feel like a good thing for a lot of people to remember is that the real issue at the end of the day is not the developers, it is the suits and the bosses at Activision, the higher ups essentially, that are calling all the shots and have caused Call of Duty to have a huge downfall. In my personal opinion, a lot of Call of Duty YouTubers won't say this, but I believe that the devs themselves can 1000% save the COD franchise and make a majority of players happy and bring them back to COD if they had the full reign and power to do so. If they didn't have bosses, if they didn't have deadlines, if they didn't have to deal with absolute dickheads at Activision, the games would be 1,000 times better. Every single decision that's been made over the last 5 to 6 years has to go through some Activision suit named Brad who golfs and has like a plus 100 handicap who's dog shit, and somebody that thinks SBMM is a stock ticker that adds value to the franchise and is good for the game. The developers have never had control over the last half decade now, and I think it's pretty clear with what they've talked about. New devs, past devs, or currently employed devs, these developers want to make a great game. They have the ability to do so, but the suits instead tell them to sell a $25 to $30 operator and to milk the community. I literally believe that every single meeting that Activision has with one of the studios, that be it Treyarch, Infinity Ward, or Sledgehammer Games, goes like this. Hey Brad, is this fun? You know, Activision, like, is this fun for you guys? And they're like, well, you know, I'm sorry, Charlie, but we need to see some sort of monetization. Can you make players pay $2.99 to be able to shoot their gun and aim in? That would be awesome for our sales and stocks. Like, I feel like at this rate, reloading, sliding, any movement, or just even loading up the game and to be able to play online is going to be a paid feature in Modern Warfare 7 or Black Ops 10. I don't know. But the sole reason why the devs can't do anything, even though they know what's best for us, best for the game, and hell, even best for the future of COD, it's because the suits at Activision, who are the devs' bosses, don't care about what's best at the end of the day. They are in it for the business, and they care about what makes them the most amount of money while cutting down any corners in cost of production. So yes, MW4 can save COD, and yes, it can bring back players, but will it happen if the higher-ups at Activision get in Infinity Ward's way? Absolutely fucking not. You're essentially talking to a brick wall at that point. If Activision truly cared about saving the franchise, they would have done so a long time ago, and, you know, they would realize that them getting in the own developers' ways is in turn shooting themselves in the foot and making them lose out on money. And looking back at it all and looking at other franchises and companies, I don't understand how a business like COD, that's ran by absolute idiots at this point, is still running after all of this bullshit years that we've had and what they've done to their own players. If any other company in the gaming industry treated their devs and players like this, they would end up shut down so quickly and shat on by the entire gaming industry, man. Instead though, for most people who are outside and away from the COD games, they all agree with the fact that COD is a rinsed and repeated game, and they feel bad for Call of Duty players for sticking by it and being so loyal to it. And you guys might say, if you feel this way, Keybo, why do you still play? Why do you still make videos on Call of Duty? Guess what, guys? Unlike every other Call of Duty YouTuber who complains about XYZ in the fucking third, I'm not pre-ordering MW4. I'm going to give the game a shot though with the free beta and waiting to see what it's like after 1 month. And if I truly have a good experience with the beta and the game's actually worth playing, I'll buy and play MW4 when it goes on sale. I'm not buying this game when it's at full price. I'm not pre-ordering it. I'm going to wait and wait and wait. And I should, honestly, I'm advocating for you guys to do the same if you're kind of on the fence. I've been saying that basically at the end of every video. But other than that, the reason why I continue to play COD and talk about it the way I do is simply because I care. That's all it is. I just care. I love and have great memories in this franchise, and I absolutely hate to see it make decisions that make zero fucking sense. So instead of complaining about the same issues in-game, cheaters, SBMM, or anything like that, I've been complaining about the Call of Duty community, how we react, and how Activision and the suits there treat their devs and its player base. I want Call of Duty to be good, but I'm not going to act and be a Call of Duty shell just because they pay me or just because I could get a sponsorship or promotion by Call of Duty, by Microsoft, by Xbox, or by Activision. I'll speak my entire opinion and speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Other than that, the next couple of videos, I want to talk about why does every Call of Duty feel the same and, you know, other things like that. But if you guys enjoyed, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. It's been your boy Keybo. Peace.